Hello friends, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Alex and today we're going to be designing a brand based on Miss Abi Connick's creative glow challenge. The challenge for the month of August is to create a candy brand named Dead Sour, which is a mouth-watering sweet business that has been voted the #1 extreme sour sweet brand in the world. They offer a huge range of sweets with extreme sour coatings. They have been using an outdated brand identity for 3 years that feels disconnected to the audience. Dead Sour are looking to launch a new range of sour sweets in the next few months and are in desperate need of a rebrand. And the deliverables are a primary logo variations, a color palette, sweet bag packaging, sweet bag name, and any extras. So if you don't know who Miss Abi Connick is, I keep saying Miss Abi Connick. If you don't know who Abi Connick is, she is a graphic and brand designer based in the UK, and she's honestly such an incredible resource for not even just new designers, but like existing established designers as well. Like I take notes on every one of her videos. She's really informative, and like literally if you want to learn something, she will teach you. She does these design challenges every month, and this is actually my first time participating in one because just the name Dead Sour really sparked something in my mind. Like I was already getting the branding together in my head, and this is something that I really wanted to do, and I've never designed a candy brand before. So I decided, why not give it a go? So if graphic design, branding design is something that's interesting to you, please follow along. Watch this video and let's create. Also, I'm trying something a little different in today's video where I filmed my commentary after I already do all the designing. So I'm not trying to rack my brain doing two things at once, and I can focus at the task at hand, and hopefully I could be a little more cohesive and actually explain my process this time around. So let me know if this method works better for you guys or if you like the previous way. Just leave a comment below, let me know. So as I said before, as soon as I saw the brief for this challenge, the idea started flowing, and because of that, I forgot to record the first very bit. Like I forgot to record the very beginning of this process where I was going through and picking out the fonts that fit the branding. But I do still have them laid out here, and you can see that what I chose to do was a mix of 3 fonts. No, yeah, it was a mix of 3 fonts. It was this this script font right here, which is I believe Mascot, and then I did obviously wide, and also New Kansas, or Kansas New. They just switched the name of that recently. So what I did was combine all 3 fonts to give it, you know, a more modern feel of that trend of just mixing fonts, especially with having a script font and then having it with a different font. So I decided to play with that, and I also took inspiration from another typeface that you could see here, the second typeface, where that's just how the font is. Like there was no manipulation to it. That's just how it looks typed out. And so I wanted to really incorporate that into the logo as well, because I thought that looked super cool, as well as being very trendy, which is the goal for this rebrand, is, you know, trying to connect with the customer, which I assume is, you know, a younger audience, and younger audience is going to be more hip to the trends. So right here I'm going in with the pencil tool and making the typeface even more unique by taking away the straight lines and adding more movement, more grungy, more destructiveness to the font, because I'm really leaning into the dead part of the dead sweet, which I know comes from like British slang. It's like, oh, that's dead sweet, like, oh, I'm dead tired, like I'm very tired, you know, that means they're very sour. But that really sparked my inspiration, so I'm going deep into like the spooky aspect, and this would be really good for Halloween, even though Halloween is very much an American holiday. But you know, with the skull and the dead theme, and you know, if something's dead, it's decaying, it's not pristine whatsoever, and so I really wanted to emulate that in the type as well. Also, sour candies, like you can't keep a straight face while eating something sour. Your face puckers up, your face gets distorted, and that really helped also guide the way I wanted to manipulate this type. Funnily enough, the use of the pencil tool actually came from Abi Connick. like I'd never used the pencil tool before because I didn't know that you could just draw on an existing letter and just start warping it. I had always, you know, like taken the pen tool or even the brush and like created a completely different shape and then, you know, used that and connected that to the letter. But like since learning that I could just take the pencil tool on that path and just start warping it, like it's made it so much easier. So here I'm dragging in two little doodles that I did off to the side. The one on the left I actually created in Illustrator with just the brush tool, and the one on the right I sketched and drew out on my iPad and image traced it here in Illustrator to bring in you know, like a character, because candies always have a character. And like I said, I really wanted to lean into the spooky dead theme, so I wanted to make it a mix of the spooky dead with warheads. You know, that iconic warhead logo where it's just the sour face and the explosion. So I really wanted to do that by incorporate that by making a skull, making the sour face. So here I am just playing around with the type, messing around with the layout after I've solidified what I wanted the logo type to look like. I'm playing around with the formatting of it all. I'm seeing if I want it to be like a more horizontal, stacking it on top of each other for a vertical layout. See what I like best for like the primary logo. And since I had a sense of what I wanted the primary logo to look like at this point, here I am making a logo variation by stacking the words on top of each other and doing my tried and true method of when the letters are on top of each other or connected, I usually do some offset path to where you can still read the letters by having an outlet stroke and it looks like the letters are interconnected and you can still read them just fine. But as you can see, I'm struggling a little bit here, not really liking how this is turning out. So then I scrapped the whole idea and just shrank the letters to where they're still overlapping, but you can still definitely read them. And I think that works a lot better than what I was trying to accomplish before. To play even more into the sourness of the candy, I wanted to see if I could add any more assets to the logo by drawing lemons on either side of the head, and I didn't really like that. I thought that it just didn't fit, it didn't look right, so I just scrapped that idea. Here I am trying and failing yet again. I'm trying to make some overlaying of the logo work. It just didn't work for this. It didn't end up looking right. And yet again, I ended up scrapping this idea. This is why I find it so important to keep playing with your logo, even if you think you're done with it, and trying different layouts for the orientation of the logo, because in doing so, here I am, you know, playing with the type and making it an arc and an under arc to see how I can incorporate the skull in that way. And in doing so, I realized that I liked how the skull looked when both types are kind of bulged, and I replaced the O with the skull itself. And that ended up being the primary logo that I went with for this project. Once I get to a point where I think I'm actually done with playing around with the logos and all its variations, I then create another board and like make my final selections, my top picks for what I love the most out of what I had created. And of course, I make sure to have, you know, all the ones that you need. Like I need the primary and, you know, like the secondary logo. So say if the primary logo is a horizontal type, then I need a vertical, you know, because the formatting for packaging may look completely different for the formatting for a social media or a banner or like some other print. I'm now finally taking all these logos and adding color to make sure that the color palette works well and all the colors, you know, actually go together and are cohesive. I knew for this brand that I wanted to do citrusy colors because I associate citrus with sourness. So I definitely had to do the lime green, like a lemon yellow, orange, and a blue. I knew the blue had to be darker because they all couldn't be bright and vibrant or else you wouldn't be able to read anything. And I decided to make the orange darker as well. As if the recording of this video wasn't going bad enough, I had initially recorded my screen when I was creating the packaging for this brand, but my computer did not want to save it. It was not saving at all, so unfortunately I lost that footage, but I can still present you with what I did. So for the sweets themselves, the name I came up with were Sour Bombs, and to keep in line with the sourness and like the spooky dead theme, I decided to have the skull itself be a bomb. And I have this tombstone orange shape on top of the green, and I also have the tombstones along the bottom for the nutrition facts. So when I brought this into Photoshop, I ended up cutting out the white part of the skull. I knew I wanted to do that going in, so then that would act as a transparent screen. So if this was a real product, you can see the candy on the inside. If I saw this in the store, I'd definitely get it. But you know, maybe I'm just being biased. So filming after the fact, still a little hard, but I think it is kind of easier than filming as I'm doing it. So I may just keep doing this from here on out, unless you guys don't like this format, and I'll just switch back to the original way. But that'll do it for me here today. I hope you guys liked what I created. I hope you liked the branding and the packaging. Let me know what you thought of everything down below. And you will be able to see this full branding on my Instagram at Alex with 3 X's Joseph. And I'll make sure to link Abi Connick's socials in the description down below. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.